Hello and welcome to Have You Got Your Shit Together with me, Caitlin O'Ryan, the podcast that celebrates not having your shit together. I don't know if you can hear, but I have been struck down by the flu, so I definitely don't have my shit together at the moment, but what I do have is a shit ton of echinacea and lemon and ginger tea. On today's episode, we have the incredible Ali Ink, aka Ali, or who goes by her Czech name, Betka. She's a Czech-born tattoo artist who now lives in London and runs her own tattoo studio. Her tattoos are beautiful. She did me a little sunflower, which I absolutely adore. She's also a singer-songwriter and is one half of the duo Mind the Moon. She's lived in several different countries and cities, such as the Czech Republic, Madrid, Spain, Hamburg, Germany, and now London. It was such a joy talking to her in her tattoo studio. She has such a gorgeous energy. She's so inspiring and hardworking and a perfect example of someone who's following their passions, spinning loads of plates and seemingly keeping her shit together. You can check her out on Instagram at ali.ink for her tattoos. Maybe you want to book yourself in for one. And you can find her music at Mind the Moon Music. I hope you enjoyed the episode. Loads of love. Stay safe out there. Here's Ali.
My thoughts were like, oh my god, is that English or Czech? You know, you just rethink everything.
Oh my god. Do you dream in English or Czech?
In English.
Do you?
Yeah.
Do you think that's because you've spent so much time here now?
I think so.
Yeah.
And also music, you know, it kind of is really in my head now. It's quite difficult to speak Czech, actually.
Really? When was the last time that you were living there for like a long time?
Last time, I think I was around 20. I finished school and then I moved out. But yeah, it's a long time. So my Czech is really rubbish, so it's my English.
But it's not.
You should
Both better than any other language that I can speak.
Selfish.
I speak English poorly, so...
Beautiful English,
thank you.
honestly.
It's the
very
northern.
admirable.
Okay.
Alright, let's start from the top.
So, here we are, in your studio.
Welcome in. Thank you for listening. Thank you for having me, Caitlin. It's a pleasure.
Well, I'm thrilled to have you.
Well, I've listened to lots of the podcasts. I must say, I'm ready. So thanks for having me.
You've cultivated your shit for this very podcast.
I've been practicing my speeches.
So how long have you been in this studio then?
I've been here for 2 years now.
Yeah.
As a private studio, it's been wonderful. I worked in big studios before and navigated through the industry for years, and I think I'm very happy and settled here.
Yeah,
it's great.
It must be amazing, like being your own boss in that sense.
Yeah, it is, and it's not.
Yeah.
But I guess, you have to have discipline and set up the goals, and but I love it. I think for me it's important to be in charge of music. Yeah. Which I have my little speaker here and it's just wonderful. No politics.
I've got the playlist.
Yeah. No small talk. Which, it's not a bad thing, but been loving being private here.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah, and we were just saying how cool it is that you get people coming and then you just get to have amazing conversations with them.
Yeah.
And like the time spent with interesting people.
I'm so lucky, so grateful. I think, getting a tattoo by someone in such as intimate, it's not scary when I say intimate, but it's a safe space, definitely. And people tend to open up quite a lot. It's really up to them, they don't have to, but
you're like torturing them with a tattoo gun.
Yeah, it's actually telling me about your childhood.
Or I'm gonna really fuck this tattoo up.
No, never. Like, imagine going to your hairdresser and the amount of thing you overshare.
Yeah.
Someone is cutting your hair, so you actually already have the trust in them.
Yeah.
So imagine going to your tattoo artist, and it's wonderful. Like, I've heard so many beautiful stories and really big, heavy stories, and it's very grounding, and I love my job. Yeah.
But you must get so many like interesting people passing through that you wouldn't normally meet in normal life. So many people get tattoos now.
That's very true.
Yeah.
Especially these days, I think the industry is more open. There are more female tattoo artists than in the past. And getting tattoos is self-reflection, God, I can't remember the word.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean though, because I think, for me anyway, I think it's the same with like cutting your hair. It's a way of someone taking ownership of their own body.
Oh, I love that.
And because of that, it can be really vulnerable and
Totally.
like, it's like such an impactful thing that you're doing for people as well.
Thank you. You said it so beautifully. It's quite hard to describe what tattooing is for you. Tattoo culture is as old as we are.
Yeah.
Since the very beginning. And, you know, there are different forms and the history is so wonderful. And as you're saying, these days it's self-expression. That was the word I was looking for. And as you said, claiming back your body is so powerful.
Yeah.
So as you're saying, yes, I do have various people from, you know, different bubbles and it's so awesome. I feel like I really brought my mind thanks to them. Having just these, you know, even small talks or like diving into deep conversations. I'm so lucky. I'm tattooing doctors or, I don't know, like lawyers.
Yeah, musicians.
And, you know, everyone sees tattoos so differently. And self-expression has very different forms. Yeah, it's really fun. Sometimes it can get really heavy, like, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
Over the years, I've been tattooing for 8 years now. And at the beginning, I did open up so much. And it kind of turned the appointment to therapy, which I had no idea how to, you know, navigate through it and how to guide someone and through the process, because, you know, getting tattooed is a healing for sure.
And they can take hours as well.
Oh, yeah.
So you're spending such an intimate amount of time with someone.
So I've learned so much just, you know, by having these conversations about art and life but yeah, and since I'm doing this project called From Song to Skin, so I draw songs.
Yeah. You have like a thing, don't you, where you can see images for songs or something?
Yeah. But you know, I thought everyone had it. I thought it wasn't like nothing unusual.
Yeah.
When I was growing up, I thought, everyone just sees music everywhere. Like it's literally everything for everyone.
Yeah.
Everyone loves music. But then being a tattoo artist, I discovered it's not a thing for everyone.
Wow.
And I'm in a music video when I hear music, when I listen to songs, and it's full of colours, pictures. Sometimes it can get quite overwhelming. And me starting getting tattoos from, you know, quite a young age, they were all lyrics, because I love music, I love lyrics. Yeah. And I was thinking, gosh, if I'm going to continue like that, I'm going to end up like newspaper, just having lyrics on my body. So I was trying to come up with different ideas. Yeah. And thought drawing music would be a fun thing to do. You know, hide the meaning behind the songs in the drawing. Yeah. So it's not that obvious, it's quite hidden, but still it speaks for the feeling, for the meaning that you have and the song has. And So yeah, that's been amazing as well, seeing how people see music differently. Because like being a musician at the same time, it's a great gift I get from people
to bring the two things together.
Yeah,
like, it's such like that feels like such a popular thing that people love to get lyrics and stuff tattooed on them, or like their favourite songs, because people want tattoos to be meaningful. Yeah, and I think music means so much to people, so it makes sense to combine the two things.
And it doesn't have to mean anything at all. Like sometimes you can get the song just because you like it. Yeah. Or you can get it just for the meaning and beauty of the song, whatever it means. I think the beauty in the song is the mystery. And at the beginning, I really tried hard to crack the meaning behind it. I would sit down with my client, what do you think this line is about? You know, going through interviews on YouTube with musicians. So much.
And half the time, like, musicians don't even know what the song's about.
I know!
I just like the writing. Yeah.
I know, so I loved to see the different perspectives from people, like what the music actually means to them. Yeah. And truly, music brings you to different places, time, you know, it reminds you of someone who you might have lost, or, you know, just the time of your life, or...
It's so evocative, isn't it, in that sense? Yeah.
Totally. Like, it's like impressionism, you know, music. It just makes you feel something. And it's wonderful to see, what the music means to different people.
I love that. I love that so much. So how long have you been tattooing?
Gosh, I'm getting really old. I've been tattooing for over 8 years now. Wow. Although I can't really... remember when was the starting point. I think it was the moment when I got my first tattoo. I woke up the next day and I thought, fuck, this is what I want to do. And I had no way how to disappoint my parents. Yeah. But I fell in love with it, and I think I was around 20, 21 when I got my first tattoo. Thank God it wasn't earlier, because the ideas I had when I was 18.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Don't get me started. But it's been a wonderful journey, and I've been to 4 countries.
Wow.
I've been tattooing in this amazing big studio called Betka in Hamburg, which is like one of the biggest one.
Yeah, I heard.
It was such a cool experience, and I loved it. But music was calling me, so I moved back to London.
Wow.
And here I am.
And you started in the Czech Republic?
Yes, I'm from Czech Republic.
Yeah.
So I was still at uni, and I did study economics, which is
such a different life.
I know, and believe it or not, but I never drew anything before. I never dare, never dare. And I had this cool project that involved me interviewing this beautiful tattoo artist back in Czech Republic, and he was amazing. He had purple hair. He was he had this style of living, this bohemian I really was craving for. And I interviewed him and got spontaneous first tattoo for my grandmother. Wow. That was my first tattoo, and a wave on my finger was so painful anyway. And
that's all bone, isn't it?
I know, really bony, but it's very special. Special tattoo, and I fell in love with it. Yeah. I just knew, like, with my whole heart, this is it. Yeah. And regardless, I wasn't really artistic in, in the practice, just in my head, pictures and division, they were always there. Yeah. And I was just sketching and drawing, and I was unstoppable, really. And people thought I was going mad, especially my friends. Like, most of my friends are like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, tattoo artist, like, no. Yeah. And he's studying economics. My dad was very disappointed. My mother, she was quite supportive, as she saw that I'm very passionate about it. Yeah. When you know, you know. Yeah. But yeah, that was the beginning.
Oh, wow. Oh, my God, amazing. Okay, so on a scale of shit to together...
Oh, my God.
No, not even got to the first question yet. On a scale of shit to together, how are you feeling today?
I would like to say 5.
5, okay.
Just because I like the balance. Yeah. I never have, I'm never in the middle.
Extremes.
Always. That's my way of kind of coping. And... it's always either 1 or 10. Right. Always, I'm never in between. So.
But you're feeling a bit more in between today?
I would manifest it, saying 5. Okay. But,
calm, neutral.
It's Monday morning
also. Yeah.
And I think the fact that, you travelled all the way here to do the podcast, which is, so amazing. I feel like 8 is a good number because it feels like, being productive and... it's a nice Monday morning. Yeah, and it took me a while to get the recorder working, so that kind of threw me into a bit of a spin. But managed.
Yeah, we did. Okay, then what does having your shit together mean to you?
I think that's a really good question, and I think, gosh, I've been thinking about this question for a few weeks now, since you told me you want me on this podcast. I don't know. Yeah. I'm still in the search, and I think that's a beautiful thing. There are a few moments, small moments, that I chase that make me feel like I got it together. Yeah. I think not having it together, it's a big driving force for me.
I think sometimes it's easier to say what it is when you don't have it together than what it is when you do.
Totally. Yeah. But I think if I had to pick one thing that makes me feel that my purpose, and I'm sorry, I'm going too profound now.
No, please.
Kind of small things anyway. I feel like, sometimes you wonder, what's the point, what's the sense, what's your substance? And I feel that my substance is fulfilled when I write a song. Yeah. And it doesn't have to be a full song. It just, when the idea goes through you and you just... write something that just speaks so much for you. Like, I guess you have it with your poetry or with your creativity. Yeah. This little moment that you think and feel, okay, it makes sense. Yeah. It's just you so present, and not having it together for a long time to have this little moment of this surrender, which I feel like I have it together in that moment.
I think there's something about like externalizing the internal. So I think for me, like if I'm feeling loads of things inside, that can feel quite overwhelming. But once I've kind of put that onto like, made it like a practical thing, like writing a poem or something like that, it feels like I've kind of got a bit of a grasp on the thing that I'm feeling.
Totally.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Like, telling a story.
Yeah.
You wonder what's your service here in this life, and I don't know if the service was the right word, but again, purpose. And I think being creative and telling your story or your visions is just you leaving something behind. And I think that's such a powerful and beautiful thing, especially being a tattoo artist. Sometimes I just sit down and think, oh my gosh, there are so many tattoos I've done over the 8 years. Yeah. And they're just living happily.
Where are they now, my babies?
Literally. It sounds like I bump into people on the street.
So funny.
Even in foreign countries.
Yeah.
It's mad. I hope they're all happy.
I hope they're living their best lives.
Yeah. I feel like I leave a piece of me in those tattoos, and they're just everywhere.
Yeah.
And it's not forever,
Yeah.
Skin is not forever.
Yeah, that's so cool.
It's scary.
Yeah, don't fuck it up.
Yeah.
Okay, before the podcast, I asked you to think of an object that makes you feel like you've got your shit together.
Okay, object. I'm really trying not to be materialistic, but if I had to choose something, I think it would be my rings.
Yeah.
Although
I love them.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Although I love chunky rings and very delicate, nothing in between.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Extremities.
I'm nothing in between. Never in the middle. They make me feel powerful.
Yeah, they're so cool. So you've got like big chunky silver ones that your friend. Yeah, they're so cool.
I have some friends that make rings. Yeah. They're so talented.
They're gorgeous.
And they just make me feel powerful. So in the morning you put them on, you got your phone charged, you're ready for the day. Yeah. But sometimes I lose them, which is fine too. I keep losing my rings, but I think that's the journey, you have to let it go.
I love that.
Get new ones.
Yeah.
As long as I don't lose my engagement ring, I'm fine.
That one means a bit more.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Never gonna lose that one. And also I think my dresses, I'm such a summer person.
Yeah.
I love my dresses, flowy, big, and colourful. I think each of my dress has a story, or like depending on my mood or the intentions I have in that day, I put them on. But living in England is quite difficult, It's just raining all the time.
Oh my God, I know. Can't be wearing that in the winter.
No. So, need to move to Australia.
Yeah, I love that. I remember someone saying to me about rings that, like, your earrings and, like, necklaces are for other people. Because you can't see them, so you're kind of considering what other people are going to think of your jewellery. Whereas like your rings and your bracelets are for you to enjoy. Because I always find it when I'm like on the tube or something, and I'm just like looking at my hands, and I get so much joy out of. And also because I think, like I anyway, have like sentimental attachment to each ring.
Totally.
So I think to be able to look at them and to enjoy them is to like feel connected to the people that I love and like all of that sort of stuff. It's really lovely.
They're like my little friends.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe we put too much sentiment into things, but I think, whatever gets you through the day, it's a wonderful thing.
Yeah. And I like what you say about when you lose jewellery as well, because I've definitely lost things and I can get upset because of the sentimental attachment. Then I remember like my mum saying to me, like, jewellery is meant to be worn, like it's not just to be kept at home and like scared of losing it.
Oh, that's
like,
wonderful.
Yeah, the journey is the nice thing of it. Someone else might be wearing it now.
Maybe, So it's just, living on the bottom of the sea, happily, with fish. But that's wonderful, it's meant to be worn.
Yeah. A time in your life where you felt like you really had your shit together?
When I had my shit together, I was moving back to London.
So when was this?
That was 4 years ago, right before pandemic. I used to live in London in 2017, I think.
Yeah.
Then I moved to Spain, then to Germany, only to find that I want to do music.
Wow.
And I think in that moment, I finally faced my fears and my dreams, and I stopped bullshitting myself.
Yeah. You accepted what you were feeling.
Yeah. And decided to move back to London, even though it was quite scary. But the best decision ever. So I felt I know what I'm doing for the very first time, because at that moment, whilst being in Hamburg, I was kind of on my peak with tattooing.
Yeah.
Being in this big studio and tattooing next to really big names. It was just so wonderful. And finally having money after such a long time, that was just a big thing.
Yeah.
I worked in hospitality for so long, since I was like 15.
Yeah.
It's a hustle,
It is a hustle, yeah.
And so finally I made it to the point where I was content, happy with tattooing, building the name, the brand, doing from song to skin, having money, being able to, support friends, family around. And then I just decided, I'm going to do music.
Oh my God.
And
another twist.
I know. But I think I had no choice, really.
Yeah.
Regardless all those achievements I had, and creatively being fulfilled and having the security with money, then I wasn't happy at all. I was such a mess.
Yeah.
Also, I was alone for the very first time in those 2 years. So, when you're alone, you really grow.
Yeah.
It was really scary, but really beautiful. And the amount of gigs I went to in Hamburg was just beautiful. But I remember the moment I was lying on the floor, literally lying on the floor, crying.
Wow.
Like listening to Tom Odell.
Listen, if you're on the floor crying, Tom Odell is a good soundtrack to be listening to. Yeah.
It was evening, and it was kind of like windy and stormy, and I just felt like I need to do music in this life, or I'm gonna perish. Yeah. Literally. That was like the last call I had. I struggled with my mental health a lot. I had lots of challenges, and I think listening to your heart finally. Somehow I always knew since I was a kid, it was always about music, lyrics, and every time I listened to music, I imagined myself being on a stage and performing it. Like, I've been practicing in my head for so long, just get me on the dance stage already. And I think the dream was just so beautiful to dream. Yeah. And I was so scared not to have anything to dream about if I fulfill this one. Oh my God. You know what I mean? Because this dream was everything I dreamed of. Yeah.
And there's security in the dreaming, isn't there? Because it's like, well, I'll always have the dream, but if I try and I fail, then what will I dream about? Or,
totally. Yeah. But I think just my body was not having it. My heart and my soul, I think I was just really lost, even though I built this beautiful tattoo career, which I love. I love tattooing with my whole heart. And it wasn't easy to, start. I think you really have to love it to do it. But I think listening to my heart, and it took me so long to really just go for it and stop being so scared of what if or all that. And starting making music is quite scary. Like, don't get me wrong, you don't know where to start, and especially not having any background in it. So I moved back to London, and that was the only time in my life, even though I was quite a mess, I felt like I had my shit together. Yeah.
I love that. I love what you're like, that sentiment of like, if I don't do it, then I'm always kind of going to regret not trying it. Yeah. Like, yeah, I think so many people experience that, of having like deep ambitions or dreams, or like, I think people call it like their shadow artist, which is...
Gosh, shadow artist? Yeah. Getting drunk in your stuff.
That's the Artist's Way, isn't it? Have you done The Artist's Way? The book, Julia Cameron talks about it in that, but it's that kind of, this curiosity or this desire to be close to the thing that you really admire or you love, and when you see other people doing it, you have this kind of burning, like, almost like a jealousy, I guess, because... secretly there's a part of you that wants to be doing it.
Totally. It makes really sense. Look around and see the people you're surrounded by.
That's so true.
I've been dating musicians. I had to type.
Oh my God.
And I never figure out that I want to be the musicians, and that few songs about, our stories on Spotify. And on the other side now writing my stories.
That's so cool.
It's powerful. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
But it took me many years to realise that I want to be the artist.
Yeah, that's great. Okay, in opposition to that then, a time in your life where you felt like you really didn't have your shit together.
Hamburg again. Gosh, everything happened in Hamburg when I didn't have my shit together. I think I never had my shit together. And again, I think that's such a big driving force for me. Again, you know, living in extremes on one side or the other. I think not having it together really makes me go forward. I grow. And because I'm so scared to be in one place. I don't know. I think in Hamburg I really realised mortality. And I think that's why I decided to, you know, move back to London and focus on music. Because if not now, then when?
Literally.
What are we waiting for?
Yeah.
Like, what if something happens to us? But that was such a mess this year. I couldn't think of any moment or any...
It was just a feel, like a sense throughout the days, really. It wasn't like a specific thing.
I think I really got used to it, kind of not having together, even though it seems I do have it together.
Yeah.
You know, building 2 careers and living in London and getting married next year and that. And I don't believe having shit together. It's a thing for me. I don't know. I think... Have you heard of, or do you believe in the calm in chaos? Like you like when everything is so chaotic around you, when you don't have it together, or like, you know, sometimes the circumstances or the environment isn't right for your growth or just being still, happily still, you have to pull yourself. So I think together. So I think the fact that, you know, life really throws rocks at you, it forces you to learn your lessons quick. And I think everything really happens for a reason. So even though there's just so much happening in your life and it's challenging, you know, everyone has different mountains to climb, I believe everything happens for a reason. So kind of not having it together, it's a beautiful opportunity for you to grow. And I always saw that as a gift. And, you know, you just keep growing. So
I like that. I think in times of like flux or chaos, that is where, like you're saying, you learn the most about yourself. And because often you don't have anyone else to rely on, and you really have to find it from within yourself to face the shit that you're being like faced with. Or like the cards that are being dealt with you. And I have found that for sure. Like I think often when I'm in a period of change or scared, that's often when I grow the most, because I'm having to learn the most about myself and how to get myself out of that situation.
Totally. And I think it's great to learn the lessons, so, you know, those moments, they won't repeat itself. But also just wondering, you know, before we hit the play on the record, now we were talking about heartbreak. And we were talking about how I grow and how I glow when I have a heartbreak. Like I'm just so productive. Like I want to be a better person. I want to be kinder, because you're just so scared that you're not, you know, you're not able to be loved, I guess, when you're heartbroken. So for me, it's such a, again, big driving force, but it makes me wonder, am I used to this chaos to growth? Why do I need to keep growing? To what point? Like, you should stop.
I don't think you should, though. Because surely, like, you know, life is a series of events that happens to us. Like, so, you know, what we're experiencing now is going to be very different from what we'll be experiencing when we're 40. We'll be faced with different challenges. And therefore, I think you're constantly wanting to look for opportunity to grow.
God, don't tell me. You'll never stop. I know. I'm tired.
But, like, on the heartbreak thing, I think when you come out of stuff like that, and the glowing and the growing, it's like having to learn to fall back in love with yourself, I think. And that energy that you were putting into someone else, suddenly it's like you have all of this space to kind of put it back into yourself and get to know yourself and who you are on your own and like what your interests are that aren't coloured by someone else. So I think maybe that's where that sensation comes from.
Totally.
Yeah.
I think I've learned that I'm the only person who can make me happy. So, you know, you can't see the happiness outside because, you know, into the Wild movie, happiness is only real when shared.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just wonder whether I'm seeking the chaos so I could grow.
So you can grow.
What I mean? Bloody musician. I know. You know, just creating drama around so I can write about it.
Yeah, I can only write when I've like someone's pissed me off or like I'm not very... When I'm happy, there's nothing being written about. Peace is so uninteresting. Okay.
Maybe one day.
Yeah.
We're working on it.
Yeah. Okay, 3 things that make you feel like shit.
I think I would say people chewing on trains, eating. With all respect.
Yeah.
And in a cinema, if you're watching a movie and there's someone eating popcorn.
Why? I don't understand why popcorn has become like the thing to have at the cinema. It's so fucking loud.
Who invented it?
Who thought that was like an acceptable thing? Someone's hand going into the bucket and you can just chew. Oh my god, the crunching.
Nothing against eating, right? But,
not in my face. Okay.
Not in my face. Not on a train. And I have unfortunately a big commute to London these days. But, it makes me really angry. I'm Eastern European.
Yeah.
So it's
Is that not a thing that people do?
No. What I'm trying to say is my blood can get really hot.
Oh.
And I can be very like angry and passionate. But you know, I really control my temper.
You've learned.
But if you chew on a train next to me, I'm like, I have to hold myself to this, you know, like don't say anything, like don't scream. Like I don't know.
Wow, that's funny.
Self-control. Yeah. So that makes me lose my shit. I think some people think they're gonna live forever. That makes me lose my shit. Yeah. Makes me angry. Wasting time, I think. You know, some people wait around for, you know, their dreams to come true, staying in a relationship that they're not fully content. Yeah. Jobs, places, it can be small things. Yeah. And, you know, they just wait around, as I've been waiting around, you know, to finally kick my ass and move back to London to do music. People wait around for things to happen. I don't believe in that. I don't believe things will happen.
You have to make it
happen. Oh my God. Just, you know, reach your hand and grab it and make it. I kind of realised that recently. I had a big birthday and I always wanted to get this tattoo for years. And there's this amazing tattoo artist back in Czech Republic that I've been like admiring since ever. And he does beautiful abstract lines, and I always wanted to get one from him. And, you know, it was a week before my birthday, and I was like, I'm not going to get this tattoo now, am I? Like, I'm turning 30. What I've been waiting for. Yeah. So that day at work, I was like, okay, that's it. I'm going to just tattoo myself. And I did. And it was so easy. Gosh. And it was that easy. And I was like, okay, I'm not waiting around for anything anymore. Yeah. I've got no time. And like, what if something happens? Yeah. But, so create your own environment. Don't wait for the environment to be suitable. And I guess that was with tattooing for me. It was incredibly hard for me to start. Like, no one really helped me. I've learned everything on my own, and you know, it was a big hustle and really hard work. And again, no environment, just go and create it. If there's no space for you, make space for you. Say it again. It's so easy like that. And I have a few wonderful friends back in Czech Republic, and you know, growing up in Eastern Europe, it's quite tricky because, you know, it's just small and quite behind, and talented musicians, and they're still waiting around for it to happen. Yeah. So that makes my blood boil.
I wonder, like, because obviously I think that mentality is like a fear-based one or like a comfort one. So like, for example, staying in a relationship that isn't serving you anymore, like that because it can feel so terrifying to make the change.
Yeah.
And like not loving yourself enough, I guess. But I guess that would be in every situation, like kind of what we're going back to about the shadow artist stuff, like
you don't deserve your dreams.
That or like some people are more comfortable in, I could have been a musician if only this had happened, if only this had happened, rather than admitting to themselves that they tried and that like maybe it didn't work out, or but there's power in like knowing that you have the agency to create the thing for yourself. And I wonder if the reason that it like frustrates you as it does me is because I've also been in that situation. I've been the person in a relationship when I should have left sooner, and I've like
we all done that.
Yeah, we've all done it, but from like the outside point of view, you can see. So say you're talking to a friend who's in a relationship that you're just like, just get out, because there's so much life to live than just letting yourself rot in this.
Scary.
It's scary.
It's really scary.
It's scary.
And I think, staying in a relationship, you're kind of learning your lesson. But once you learn, it's just, that's it. And that's the beautiful chapter ended. And then, you have to move on. And also what you were just saying, I think is having the responsibility. I think lots of people don't want to have responsibility for their own
path.
Yeah. So they kind of rely on people around. They rely on the circumstances and the environment.
Yeah.
Having a team around you, if you're a musician or actor, and blaming your agent and but like no one's gonna do it for you. You have to do yourself. And even though if you're the one to blame or fail, like it's just wonderful.
Well, at least you tried, and I guess it's better to live with no regrets than like regretting that you never tried.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. And as you were saying, in relationships, like we were talking about, some people knowing they're meant to be together and they spend years just fluffing around.
Yeah.
And, you never know what's behind the closed door. What are the circumstances for them and mental health. It's a big thing, a big challenging thing. So, it's easy to judge, but trying not to. But why are you staying in a place where you're not happy?
Yeah.
Like, life is so short. I know it's such a cliche,
but it's cliche for a reason.
It's scary. And I like to think of, mortality. I think it's
it's a good reminder.
Yeah, it makes me feel very alive.
Yeah.
Very alive.
Yeah, that's so true.
So be where you want to be and with who, and just surround people that make you feel really good. Yeah,
I like that. Okay, one more thing that makes you feel like shit.
Okay, one more thing that makes you feel like shit. Small talks.
Okay.
Sorry, but I think small talks.
Yeah, small talk's hard.
I can't do it. I really try. But
how many times can you talk about the weather in one day?
Oh my god. I mean, and I'm a tattoo artist, so I see people every day.
Yeah, oh my gosh.
If I work, and I can't do small talk. Yeah. I don't know. It just makes me feel I'm so boring. Yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like so boring. Yeah. But nothing against small talks. I think that important, and you can't talk about heavy things all the time. No. But I definitely have friends that we don't do small talk. We just dive deep. Yeah. And I love my friends, but it makes me feel awful. Yeah, doing small talk.
Yeah, surface level conversation. I think I have it like I have like it the other way where because I think we're quite similar in terms of I like the depth and immediately I came today and we were just straight fucking in. Like,
I thought like, oh my god, I'm gonna overshare so much on this podcast.
No,
I'm really holding back.
Yeah. But I do it like where I think because I have that sensation when I meet people, I will go in with people. So I'll be like in an Uber and like I'm suddenly talking about like family, like how they feel about this, like this is this, and it's like I've done a therapy session at the end of. But I love it. I love just getting to know people. But it can be quite exhausting as well, can't it? Like,
yeah, totally.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's because of our childhood. Yeah. Whether we were heard enough. Yeah. And I was definitely missing these conversations with my family and growing up and with friends, and I think that's why I just need something deeper in life and
meaningful.
Something more valid than talking about the weather. I don't know.
I think it's that like classic joke about British people, which is like you know, you'll say, "Hi, you all right?" But then, and people are just like, "Yeah, I'm good, thanks."
Yeah.
But actually it's like, you're not. No one is. It's such a weird question that we all ask each other.
I know.
And then you have to like ask again, like, "Yeah, but are you actually all right?" And then you get the real answer. And someone just like spills their guts to you.
I know. I'm still learning to be English. My partner, he is English.
Yeah.
And, you know, I have no filter. When I moved here, I got myself into troubles. With being very honest and open and standing up for myself. I think English people, they don't really like to talk about heavy things and problems.
Yeah.
So, I'm still learning.
Yeah.
Hey, Ant.
Hey.
You do a great job in editing this podcast, might I say. If people like the podcast, what do they need to do?
Like it.
What else?
Follow it on social media.
And then what?
They could share it with every single person they know.
Thanks, Ant. You can go back to your corner now.
Bye.
Okay, 3 things that make you feel like the shit.
Music.
Mm-hmm.
I know.
Yeah. Like listening to music or like making your own music? Or both?
Everything.
Yeah, just all of it.
Both,
Yeah.
really. It makes me feel like I found it. It makes me feel like there's a reason for me to be here. And I think I've really needed that in my life.
Yeah.
I've been chasing that feeling for such a long time. And it just makes me feel whole.
Yeah.
Especially, you know, when you're listening to a favourite song. I get lost in it.
Yeah.
It's quite scary sometimes. Sometimes I walk on the street listening to my music and I have to like touch floor or like
reconnect.
I'm still like walking and living and like I'm not just like
In your head.
in my head. I love being in my head.
And you're in a band.
I'm in a band.
Yeah. Talk to us about that.
We called Mind the Moon. I'm the singer and I do write the songs and it's me and my partner, so it's kind of duo.
Yeah. Ali and Ali.
Ali and Ali.
Ali
Oh
squared.
actually that's my name, Ali. It's Ali Betka.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and my partner is Ali still.
Yeah.
But it's Ali and
Ali. The Alley Cats.
Yeah. And we just started. So we've got EP out.
Wow.
It came out in October.
Yeah. And it's beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Sorry, in August. Now
In
it's
August.
October. Anyway, it doesn't matter. And thank you very much.
Yeah.
We keep it rolling now.
Yeah.
Back in the studio recording and it just feels amazing.
Yeah.
Really.
I guess to have those things aligned that you love and to be given the opportunity to create it and live it.
Yeah, I feel so grateful.
Yeah.
And you know, it's a really hard journey and it wasn't easy to start, like just
Putting yourself out there.
yeah. It's really scary.
Oh, yeah.
But I feel like with tattooing, I never created anything before, and then you know you have to start sharing it on social media. What you draw.
Yeah.
And that was just so scary.
Yeah.
And you have to be really vulnerable to allow yourself being authentic creatively. So
Yeah. Okay. 2 more things that make you feel like the shit.
I think quality time spent with friends and family.
Yeah.
I know it's a simple thing, but actually it's really hard.
Yeah.
Everyone is so busy.
Oh my God. Yeah.
And I think giving your affection to people you love and being really present and making core memories, that makes me feel like that makes me feel good.
It's really nourishing, isn't it? Like,
It's such a simple thing, but I think we should spend more time with our friends and family, really.
Everything else is just getting in the way of that, really, isn't it? Yeah.
You know, I live in London and just everyone is so busy.
Oh my God.
You know.
It's so hectic. Like,
getting everyone in one room
place
is so difficult.
Hell.
Like I threw a birthday party a few weeks ago and that was stressful.
it's so stressful. Yeah.
But so yeah, quality time spent with people makes
Yeah.
me feel good.
That's gorgeous. Yeah.
Another thing, I think I would say again, music. It's weird, but you know, sometimes in life you hear songs and then you lose them. You're like, you just lose them.
Yeah. Where have they gone?
I know. And then you wait around for them your whole life and one day you hear them in a cafe or I don't know, in a shopping
it's
mall.
like serendipity, isn't it? Something just comes in.
And so I think those things that you send and they come back eventually.
That's nice.
That makes me feel really good.
Yeah.
So you can probably imply that in your energy, like whatever you give, you get back. So yeah, with the songs, whenever you hear a song that you lost, it's beautiful. I think that makes me feel so amazing.
Yeah.
You know, that makes me feel like I've got my shit together.
Yeah,
actually.
like, well, I'm on the right path.
Yeah, like, it's pulling back together. And I know I'll talk about so much about music and it's probably very boring.
Not at all.
But yeah, it means a lot to me.
I think as well, like, from knowing you, when we were at your birthday, what was so beautiful was that you'd like brought together all these different people from like different aspects of your life. I think you've got such a skill at like meeting people and making them feel comfortable and like it's like and it's like cutting the small talk thing, but like you make people feel seen and like
thank you
known, I think. And I could just see it in that room that you'd like cultivated for yourself whilst being over here, like really beautiful connections with like artists and creatives and musicians. Like it's really cool.
Thank you. I think wow, I'm very glad to hear that. Everyone wants to be seen and understood. I think, everyone wants to be understood.
Yeah.
And especially these days, it's quite hard, you know, growing up, losing friends, gaining new friends. Everyone wants to be seen and heard.
Yeah. It's very cool. Okay, something that makes you lose your shit in a positive and a negative way.
Whistling.
Whistling?
I fucking hate
Oh my god,
whistling.
really?
Like, I would kill.
Kill a whistler in the street.
The planet, I don't know.
My god.
Especially in music, I cannot stand it.
Oh my god,
I just cannot.
It's such an ick.
I know, like, oh my god, stop it. I'm out. Especially if a man whistles at women.
Oh, wolf whistling.
Oh, oof, no,
Yeah, fuck
thank
that.
you,
No.
thank you. So, yeah.
Whistling, oh my god.
I don't know why, but I cannot stand it.
Yeah.
Like, it just boils my blood again. It's the third time I'm saying my blood is boiling.
Oh my god. Can you whistle?
I can, like, really loud.
You just choose not to. You have self-restraint.
Yeah, it's that jealousy. I whistle, you know, even though maybe I can't whistle in tune, but I can whistle with my like fingers.
Wow.
So like really loud.
Oh my god.
I'm from village.
Yeah. We had to whistle each other all the time.
Literally, like no phones, you know, back then just whistle and me out inside the village. You want to go out?
Everyone had their own whistle, so you knew someone was calling.
Oh my god, that I can't stand anymore. That's why I moved out actually.
Yeah,
I moved
the
out of
whistles.
Czech Republic.
Yeah.
Because everyone was just whistling. Didn't have phones. Now it sounds like I'm very old, but I grew up with Nokia, so it's not that old.
Yeah.
Another thing that makes me lose my shit when my favourite song comes on, we could have any conversation about your grandmother just died, and I would just wander off. Like, sorry.
Oh my god.
Like, I can't control myself.
Yeah.
It's embarrassing. I cannot be serious when my song comes on.
Yeah.
And
what are like your favourite songs?
Ooh, I can't.
Who are your favourite artists?
Oh my god.
Who inspires you?
Who inspires me?
Yeah.
Rosie Carney.
Who's been on the podcast?
Yeah.
Podcast friend.
Yes.
Yeah, Rosie's amazing.
I'm a big fan of Florence and Machine.
Yeah.
Gang of Foods.
Yeah.
One of my favourites.
Uh-huh.
I grew up listening to Pearl Jam, Eddie Vedder. Gosh, so many beautiful artists.
Yeah.
Damien Rice, you know.
Beautiful.
It's either like very epic or crying. Again,
Extremes again.
no middle. But I love going to gigs.
Yeah.
And that's just my thing really.
What is like your favourite gig that you've been to?
Oh, my favourite gig I've been to.
Bear in mind that half the bands that you've just named you're now friends with.
Oh my god. How do I
can't
do
insult
that?
anyone.
Honestly. Can I whistle? I think the favourite, I couldn't say one just because I've been to so many in my life. Probably Florence and the Machine.
Yeah. Oh my god, amazing. Like epic.
She's a big.
She is able to do both of those things though. She's very like, she's massive. Like as in her music is like epic and like very like almost cinematic. But then also her songs are so intimate and like
Totally.
So she kind of marries the two things.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's just. Have you seen her live?
I have. I saw her at a festival many years ago, but she's brilliant. I mean, she's like a fairy running around on stage, isn't she? She's crazy.
Just love her.
Yeah.
She made me fall in love with music.
Yeah.
But, I think but my favourite moment was when I was 12. And I watched this movie called Closer.
Oh, yeah.
I've seen it.
Yeah,
There's the epic last scene of Natalie Portman walking on the street, and Damien Rice's song "The Blower's Daughter" was playing, and
I love that song.
It's heartbreaking. And we had VHS cassettes, so we didn't have VHS.
Oh yeah. Like videos.
Yeah, so it was just like on the cassette movie. So I was rewinding it for the song like 100 times.
No.
So imagine me being 12. Not having my heart broken yet.
Oh my
I was
gosh.
just crying over the song as if I just been broken up.
Wow.
Honestly.
Oh my gosh.
That made me fall in love with music.
Wow.
That was the moment. So I think that was my
amazing.
favourite one-to-one gig.
Yeah.
I had in uni when I was 12.
You, Damien Rice, and Natalie Portman.
Just fell in love with music, and then I started
Wow.
listening to Radiohead, and it went down a hill.
Yeah.
Discovered Radiohead when I was 13, and then happier music as well.
Yeah.
So it's about the balance.
Oh, for sure.
So yeah, definitely music can make me lose my shit.
Yeah, I love that.
I'm sorry, I'm talking so much about
No,
music.
absolutely not.
I'm
But
like,
it's so important to I think I love music, but I think for musicians, it's so much a part of who you are as a person and your bloodstream.
It's quite scary, I must say. I think I'm very heading into a year that I'm not scared to lose everything for music, and I'm just really ready to surrender to it. Yeah, I feel like next year is gonna be different for me.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna write my soul out, get it
Wow.
out there.
Oh my
I'm
God.
really ready, and
Yeah.
it's carrying me. But maybe that's why I talk about music so much, because finally I allowed myself to
it's bubbling
live
at the
it.
surface, isn't it?
And I've been suppressing it for so long, as we were talking about, being the shadow artist, and so yeah, I feel like that's the thing for me, having a meaning, having a place to know where you belong. I think knowing where you belong makes me feel good. So finding the place, it could be anything. I'm not saying you should go and build your career or that, but again, knowing your purpose here. And because without it, I feel quite lost. Which being lost it's a wonderful thing as well, because it's a process. But having the place where you belong, that's probably having the shit together for me. Having the thing, it could be anything. It could be a hobby, it could be someone. It could be just, I don't know, you're here to provide for your family, you're here to serve, you're here to just exist. Everyone has really different paths, and I think for me it's truly music and expression and stories. When I write, I feel like I'm just channeling to some place where these songs are just happening through me, and I'm just the medium for it. But so
I like. There's a thing that I kind of say to myself when I feel a bit overwhelmed. Is just, you're exactly where you're supposed to be. And it's really grounding. I think often when you have big dreams or things feel quite overwhelming and it feels quite far away from you, if you just remind yourself that you're where you're supposed to be, then it just brings you back to yourself, and then you can just kind of move forwards towards that goal, as opposed to feeling overwhelmed by it, or regretting decisions that you've made or stuff like that. It's also exactly, but it's also a really nice reminder that no, that had to happen for you to be who you are now, and to move forwards.
Totally. I believe if I started making music when I was 20, it wouldn't be me.
And that's so true.
I must say, I've shaped so much, and I feel like I really died so many times in my life. Like a phoenix. I know it's such a bizarre thing to say. But I don't even recognize my old self.
Wow.
And I feel like I'm really in the right place to do what I do. And everything really takes time.
I think there's a pressure on women as well. Like,
age.
Yeah, because
oh my God.
what you're saying is like resonating with me so much now because like obviously acting and stuff like that, I started, you know, I've always known that I wanted to be an actor, but actually like only now am I starting to feel like I'm in the place where I can take control of it myself.
Yeah.
Whereas like I think, you know, when I went to drama school and I came out of it and then I got out under and then, you know, it was just, I was almost trying to catch up with myself in terms of not having imposter syndrome or like all of those things. And actually now I'm getting to a place at 28 where I'm starting to feel like I could finally meet my ambition in like a confident way.
Amazing.
But I think as a woman, there is a pressure to try and achieve all of those things at a younger age because by the time that you're 30, it's going to be too late.
I know.
Which is mad, isn't it?
Yeah, it's great that you did bring it up. That's a topic I'm battling with now, and imposter syndrome is a real thing. And if I'm honest, I've never met any tattoo artist who'd be 100% satisfied with their work. It doesn't exist.
Yeah.
And I think that's the point when you actually, you know, in brackets perfect, you're happy with your work. That's the time when you need to stop, maybe.
Yeah.
Because it has nothing else to offer
fulfilling you anymore. Yeah.
Yeah, like you're not evolving anymore. So yeah, I've never met any tattoo artist that'd be fully happy, and all musicians. And I think that's the point.
Yeah.
But as you were saying, being a woman, yeah, it's hard. And I think in our society, being the youngest, successful, that defines the talent.
Yes.
But it's not every time about talent.
No.
There are things you can learn.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying, you know, go and learn how to sing and be a musician. You know, you have to fucking want it.
Yeah.
But there's honestly nothing you cannot do unless, you know, you're not physically able to. But again, example with my tattooing, I've just learned how to draw.
Yeah.
It was difficult, but I've learned.
Yeah.
And it just took hours and hours of practice.
Yeah.
But like nothing you cannot do.
Yeah.
And but in music industry, I feel like there's still stigma with women, you know, being over 30 and making music.
Yeah.
No one questions men. And I think age really doesn't define how talented or successful you can be.
And actually, like, I believe that the more mature you are and the life that you've lived means that you actually have more to offer in terms of your voice, like, and what you have to say and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think, you know, making it in music, it takes years and years.
Yes.
And I think by the time you actually have the chance, you might be a little bit older than even you are now. But what I was going to say, you're totally right. I think for me, there's more message and depth in music from someone who's just been through it.
Yeah.
And also, it's so important to set the boundaries. And I think if you're young, you don't have it. So therefore, your art / music is being affected by, I don't know, a label or exactly other people. So, and music is really about to be authentic. People can see through bullshit from miles away if it's not authentic. That like what it's about.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I must say the musicians I love the most are a little bit older.
Yeah.
But again, you know, you have amazing young artists that are so talented.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying if you're young, you know,
But think where those
influenced.
people are going to be in like 10 years when they're going to be even more amazing. Do you know what I mean? Like, yeah.
But I think I would like to be open about my age and doing music. And again, it's never too late.
Yeah.
My mother, she just turned 50 and she went back to school. And, you know, it's just, you can have career even having kids. So, gonna try to change that.
A moment you found some shit out about yourself.
Okay, so just recently I realised I'm introverted.
Really?
Like, it took me so long.
Wow, that surprises me.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Like, the masking, it's a real skill.
Okay.
I always thought I'm extroverted, you know, because, you know, going out, being there for people.
Yeah.
But actually what really charges me up is being alone. And I think
where you get your energy from. That's
totally. So I did this thing called Art Fair, and I was tattooing alongside different artists. You know, they had the paintings, and it was in London, and it was so busy. And at one point I had like 30 people around me just watching me tattoo.
Oh my God.
And you know, the sound, and I'm so sensitive to sound. I hear everything. I cannot switch off. And I blacked out. I just saw darkness.
Oh my,
I had to
which is
leave.
not good if you're tattooing someone.
Hell no. No, so I had to stop.
Oh my God.
And after that, I spent 2 weeks at home playing video games.
Wow.
And I realised maybe I'm indeed introverted.
Yeah.
And I should be more mindful.
Yeah.
So I think
give yourself that time.
Yeah, discovering that it's really a good thing to know. Because some people, indeed, they charge us when they're around people.
Yeah, they get their energy from other people.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I found that about myself. And
Wow.
I'm still surprising myself every day, you know what I mean? Like, doing stupid things. I'm like, God, you're such a dickhead sometimes.
Wow. Yeah. God, that's so interesting. Yeah, because someone explained that to me about, like, extroverts get their energy from other people and introverts get it from themselves. And I think I'm probably similar. Like, I love spending time with people. I love connecting. I love conversations. I love all of that. But if I don't have, like, a day to reconnect with myself and, like, ground myself again, I think because I'm, like, empathetic, if I'm with people, I'll take on their emotion and I'll take on their, you know, if they're down, like, I'll take on that feeling, or, you know, I feel things deeply.
Same.
And so sometimes I need to be on my own to be like, hang on, how do I feel? Like, what do I think about this thing?
Yeah.
Rather than just taking on what other people tell me as well.
Totally.
Yeah.
I would say choose your friends carefully.
Yeah.
I think we are very lucky to have nice friends around. But yeah, it's very important to recharge. I go to forest with my dog. And, you know.
What kind of dog?
He's a mixed breed.
He's
my baby boy.
Oh.
He's 5 years old, and I rescued him in Spain.
Oh my gosh.
I heard him crying in the middle of the night.
No.
I just found him. Yeah, someone just binned him.
Someone put him in a bin?
Like landfill.
Oh, no.
Literally. The next day he was there in a cage, and I was like,
No way.
destined to be together.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've wrote so many songs for him.
That's so cute. What's he called?
Benji.
Oh my God, little Benji.
Yeah. Gonna get him tattooed for sure.
You're going to tattoo him, or you're going to...
No. Maybe if you let me. We spoke about it, but he's not sure what he wants.
Yeah.
But, you know...
trying to think of his favourite song.
Yeah, like, oh my God. Probably mine, hello. Like, he has to get tattooed my song.
Yeah.
But yeah, going for walks and being alone,
Yeah.
it's just, you know, that's the shit for me. Listening to music,
Yeah.
you know, just with your headphones, go for a walk in your world and reflect. I think that's really important.
That's gorgeous. Okay. Shittest piece of advice you've received?
Oh my God. Where do I start? I think I have two.
Okay.
I would go back to school. And I remember the attitude from teachers saying, oh, you need to have good grades so you'll be employable.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck that.
Yeah.
What? Like, no one really told me you can be whatever you want.
Yeah.
Especially at school.
Yeah.
And they focus on the things you're not good at. And everyone overlooked the creative aspect I had.
It's just not valued in the same way, is it? Creativity.
No, especially in Eastern Europe. Like, so that was the shittest advice ever. Like,
your worth is not, like, made up of the grades that you get, for sure.
Totally.
Yeah.
Or, like, you just have to be employable.
Well, I think one of the biggest kind of light bulb moments for me, having come out of, like, the English education system, British education system, is when someone explained to me that they're literally just creating workers for, like, so science, maths, stuff like that. It's to create a workforce.
They have
to help capitalism, basically.
I know.
And so therefore they're not, like, they don't value art and creativity in the same way because they can't make money out of it in the same way.
Yeah.
And that was just such, like, a light bulb thing for me.
And I've heard growing up that there's no space for everyone. You know, so many people saying, oh, there are just so many musicians trying to make it. so many artists trying to make it. Like, there's literally space for everyone because everyone is so different. Yeah. And if you hear the calling, you must follow it. Yeah. And it's such a shame. But I hear what you're saying, you know, that's the system really. And it's sad because so many friends of mine or people around are hungry, you know, for the thing they missed out and they think it's too late now or whatsoever. And you know, then jealousy is in a place, and that's not good in friendships. But so I didn't like that. You know, being employable and be a good worker. Yeah.
But it's so true what you're saying, because like everyone has a different point of view, and something that you write will be very different to something that someone else writes, but people will relate so much to your point of view, and some people will relate to their point of view, and therefore it's important that both voices are heard, because otherwise it's like withholding that from people, you know, that ability to connect to something. Yeah.
Like, you know, you and your acting, there's so many actors, but you have your thing. No one would do it your way, and that's so beautiful.
And as valuable as anyone else's.
Exactly. Literally. I mean, not everyone is as lucky to, you know, kind of break through, because, you know, there are different factors in it, but there's a space for everyone to be creative on any level.
Exactly.
Just make the space. Another shit advice I've got. I love my partner, but it's from my partner.
God. Oh, so, red to filth.
Sorry, darling, if you're listening, and thanks to everyone who's still listening, by the way. I know I've been rambling so much.
Absolutely not.
So when I moved to UK for the second time, and the last time, as I mentioned before, I have no filter, and for me, I'm just really honest and so direct. Yeah. Like, sometimes it even annoys me, but there's nothing I can do about it. And I got myself in a situation that I had some people I didn't want around. They were really mistreating me, and it was from my partner's side. They were his ex-friends. So I was standing up for myself a lot, because, you know, it's action reaction. Yeah. But what I've learned, kind of people get beat up for standing up for themselves, and I struggle to...
People don't like to rock the boat over here.
Or, like, you know, be the messenger, the bad news. They shoot the messenger for sure. And his advice was just suck it up and, like, be polite, or like, don't make drama. It's horrible that someone is mistreating you and you feel triggered whatsoever, but, like, if you're gonna stand up for yourself and address the elephant in a room, you're gonna get beat up for it
even more.
And that's what happened. And I didn't follow his advice anyway. And those people that are thankfully gone from our lives, and I think I've learned from it that it's always better to be honest, really.
I think so.
But, you know, with respect, like, of course, being always direct isn't the best approach, but...
I think it's like living within your integrity, isn't it? And, like, I think often people are scared to rock the boat, so they'll allow themselves to stay quiet about certain things, whereas actually, like, aligning yourself with your truth and your integrity is actually the only way that you're going to sleep at night. So,
totally, 100%. Yeah. I like the attitude here, like, you know, keep calm and carry on, but to a certain
degree.
It's not for everything.
Even with, like, a fire going around you, like, you need to do something about that. Yeah. That's good. Okay, shit you wish you'd known sooner.
I think definitely how to protect my energy. How to have boundaries. Limits. Very important.
Do you think you're better with that?
I think so. Yes. And it took me a long time. I'm really kind, and I would give everything for my friends and family. To, like, you know, I would starve to death, but not literally. So, and I think that's a good quality of mine that I have, for sure. I don't want to get rid of that, even though some people definitely took advantage of that in the past. But I wish I knew how to have my boundaries before. Since younger age, I wish I could recognize my patterns that I've learned, that I really get stuck to people who can't validate me. So in my toxic trait, I feel like if I can make them see me and like me, I'm worth it. Yeah. So, and I was attracting narcissists to my life.
Of course.
Oh my God, like big time. Yeah. And then when I realised, it was just,
Yeah. But it's that thing of like, it's something that I'm learning as well. It doesn't make you more lovable to like completely surrender your own boundaries. Yeah. Like people pleasing and trying to make people happy doesn't actually make them love you or stay. No. And actually they will respect you more if you respect yourself. Totally. And you'll attract the right people into your life because they won't be trying to take advantage of you.
You have to love yourself first.
Oh, for sure.
So you can, journey. Totally. So you can show people how to love you. Yeah. But and I think on that theme, I built an EP around. So it's called Borderlines, and I'm wearing this fabric around my face, and that represents the safeness, the safety, the safe bubble you have around that you have to create and protect yourself, but still allow yourself to give. I don't believe in putting up your walls. I think if you just trust people and have the boundaries, that you're on a good path. But I wish I knew that sooner. Yeah. There are definitely some people I wish I didn't have to be around. Yeah. But I think if I would meet them now, I would recognise the red flags for sure.
That's cool. Yeah. I like that. Okay, we're now at the point of a shit shot. Yeah. So that's a photo that to the outside eye looks like you have your shit together. Oh my God. At the actual time, you definitely didn't.
Well, if you go to my Instagram, they're just tattoos. I cannot tell you about tattoos, because as I mentioned before, no one is truly happy. Yeah.
That's so funny. Do you ever have tattoo someone and be like, that's like my worst work in your head?
Yeah.
And then they've got it on them forever.
It's probably on me, but I can't do that. But I think it hampers you for sure. Yeah. And with each tattoo, you're getting better. Wow. And I think I'll learn how to really like my work and
be less self-critical.
Totally. Yeah. I'm so self-critical. I'm so like harsh
perfectionism.
On myself. Yeah. It's a bad thing. Yeah. I'm really, really hard on myself. So I cannot talk about tattoos, but I love what I do for sure. Yeah. I would talk about the EP cover because that was such a funny day, and the picture is so beautiful and the photographer, she done stunning work. Yeah. We worked with her before, and my family came over because we don't see each other often, so we try to go to trips together. Yeah. So I've invited my mum and my younger sister, and we went down to Cornwall to do this photo shoot. Yeah. And for me, it was such a profound thing as being a visual artist. Pictures and any kind of form you see and can touch means so much, even though making the music, the songs, you cannot see and cannot touch it. So actually making the pictures was so important to me, and I was so happy that my mum was there, and it just meant so much to me. And we had like the worst time with my mum and my sister. We just fell out, honestly. And I rented this beautiful caravan, and we went down there for 5 days. I think my partner was with us, and on that day in the morning, we had a massive argument. Oh, God. It was terrible. And I had birthday, and my sister, she didn't even wish me for my birthday. No. We like fell out over nothing, you know. And I was really anxious because I never done photo shoot before like that, and it was such an important one.
Yeah, meant a lot.
Yeah. So I think having that picture, it's just me with this beautiful fabric around my face that represents the boundaries. The lines that we draw around ourselves, and having my family walking around the beach just like being pissed off or like grumpy there, and me there like, gosh, I'm just doing this photo shoot for my funny, stupid music. What am I doing? Like, so what am I doing with my life? You know, I felt so silly, so silly for even like doing music because that's just, you know, most of my friends are having babies and families, and here I am in Cornwall making photo shoot
with a veil around my head.
Oh my god. So even though I love the picture so much, there's so much behind it that I'm like, oh my god, what a day, which is quite poetic because the message behind the picture is actually that the protection, you know.
God, wow. Thanks for sharing
That's the
that.
picture.
Okay, so Ali, have you got your shit together?
No. And I don't think I want to.
Nice.
I think it's the driving force for me
calm
for
in
now.
the chaos.
Yes, the calm in the chaos. Let me write a song about it. And I think whatever gets you through the life, and if you find the balance within you, the safe point or the anchor. I think that's having the shit together.
Yeah.
Whatever life throws at you, you're strong. The lessons you have to learn, they're there for a reason. And I believe you're strong enough to go through everything, otherwise it wouldn't be happening.
Yeah.
And absolutely, I don't have my shit together, even though maybe it looks like, but I think it's fun.
Yeah, trying to figure it out.
Still trying to figure it out, honestly, even though I finally do what I love the most. And it makes sense, and I found place of belonging and purpose and self-validation. Yeah, maybe one day I'll realise I'm creating this shit for myself so I can glow and grow. But I hope that's not the case. Yeah. So yeah.
I love that. Well, thank you so much for coming on the podcast.
Thank you for having me. That was fun. Thank you. And thanks everyone for listening. Sorry for rambling.
Great.